Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. I hope you are all well and safe. In today's how-to video, I will share with you where we looked and how we got jobs here in Edmonton. Hope this video could help you gain some insights on where to find jobs based from our own experience. Before I will share with you the different recruitment channels where we search for jobs, let me just quickly give you a background of our profile and the type of jobs we landed. As for me, as the student permit holder, I was a graduate of Bachelor's of Science in Psychology, and my work experience was primarily in the human resources field for over 10 years in the BPO and IT/shared services center industry. As for my husband, who is the open work permit holder, he was a graduate of AB philosophy, and his work experiences were primarily in the academe or education industry, where he worked as an ESL teacher for over 6 years. Now let me share with you, or moving on, let me share with you the different jobs we landed here in Canada. Because I was only allowed to work 20 hours per week as a student permit holder, most of the jobs I applied for and were hired for were for part-time work for a maximum of 20 hours per week. The very first job I got here in Canada was as a produce clerk in a new grocery store here in Edmonton, where I worked there for 6 months. Then after my stint there, I tried to work in the fast food industry, where I got hired as a team member in Tim Hortons, and I stayed in the role for a couple of months as I got an opportunity to work as a receptionist in a medical clinic. It was a permanent part-time position, but I took the risk of leaving the job when I was offered a position as an operations administrator for human resources in a warehousing or logistics company. The position was initially a 6-month contract, but I accepted it because I saw it as an opportunity for me to gain Canadian work experience related to my previous work in the Philippines and relevant to the program I was pursuing at NAIT. As for my husband, who is the open work permit holder, he had the opportunity as well to work in different positions in companies. His first job was as a cleaning technician, and after a short time there, he was hired as a stone fabrication technician in a stone fabrication company. It was a good company with good pay and benefits. However, my husband had to leave the job due to the facility's proximity to our home. He now works as a laborer/grinder/welder in a metal fabrication company. As you may have noticed, the majority of the jobs we landed were not directly related to what we were doing in our home country, but we still took the opportunity to work for these roles and companies because our main consideration was for us to earn an additional income to help us sustain our needs, support our living expenses, pay our bills, and most importantly, save up for my tuition. Now let me share with you where and how did we apply for those jobs we got hired for. Shown on your screen are the different recruitment channels where we applied for those jobs I have shared earlier. Indeed was the most popular recruitment channel through which we learned about the job and applied. Then there's employee referral, which is based on my husband's experience in which he landed jobs thanks to our fellow Filipinos who referred him to their organizations. We noticed that some companies here, particularly family-owned businesses, prefer to hire referrals from their current employees. The third option is to apply through the company's career website, where you can submit your application directly to the employer or the company. Then there's social media like Facebook job ads and LinkedIn job ads, and finally an online classified job ad such as KJG, where we tried looking for jobs and luckily got hired. It was not a very common recruitment channel for people to search for jobs, but I gave it a shot, and it was there that I learned about the receptionist position at a chiropractic clinic, and through God's grace, got hired for the job. Now, let me share with you the different documents and some information we submitted when we applied for jobs here in Edmonton. Based on our experience, we submitted the following documents. The first is our resume, in which we captured our work experiences in a chronological order and highlighted key skills we believe are important or relevant to the roles we applied for. We also submitted a cover letter expressing our interest in the position as well as a brief background about ourselves. Finally, we supplied a list of character references. Some companies here in Canada are very interested in hearing about how you perform as an employee in your previous job, so it is critical that you maintain good work ethics and good working relationships with your managers or supervisors, as you may need them or use them as your reference for your next job. In terms of the recruitment process, here are the procedures we went through before being selected or hired for these roles. Employers primarily select candidates through candidate interviews, which are conducted in person, over the phone, or via web-based platforms such as Teams or Zoom. Another process my husband had to go through before being hired in his most recent job was a skills assessment, in which he was asked to perform the job, and his output was evaluated to see if it was acceptable or not. And then the final step is a pre-employment screening, which includes a criminal background check and reference checks. For reference checks, some employers will reach out to your previous managers or supervisors to get feedback about you as an employee, and for the criminal check, it will be on a case-by-case basis depending on the nature of the job you will be doing that requires such clearance. And before we conclude this video, I'd like to share with you the various documents we submitted upon hiring. Unlike in the Philippines, where there are numerous documents to prepare and submit, here in Canada, the following are the key documents or information you must provide in order to begin working, such as your social insurance number, your bank account information if your employers will pay your salary via direct deposit, and last but not the least is a copy of your work permit or student permit to confirm that you are legally permitted to work in Canada. Right, so that wraps up our how-to video on where we search for jobs here in Edmonton, and I hope we are able to give you some insights in our own little way on where you can potentially look for jobs when you get here. As you have noticed, most of the jobs we landed here were not directly related to what we were doing back home, but we do still consider all those opportunities as great blessings from above, as these were very instrumental and help us sustain our needs and most importantly help us save up for my tuition. It might not be what we were initially looking for, as we would have really wanted something directly related to what we were doing back home, but a blessing is a blessing, may it be big or small. We must just learn to appreciate it and be thankful. Alright, so that would just be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for future uploads or stories of our journey here in Canada. Thank you, and you have a good day.